Hey, Dr. Josh Bletzinger here. I wanted to talk through this video really quick on letting go of limiting beliefs. So in the diabetes shift methodology, in the diabetes shift system, the ground floor of this is creating a paradigm shift, okay? Participating in your health versus participating in your condition. Participating in what's possible versus what you've been told and what we've been indoctrinated in, being like, oh, type 2 diabetes is lifelong and you just can't have to live with it. No, you don't. And so where do these limiting beliefs come from? So when we look at that second square in there and let go of limiting beliefs, most of the belief patterns, because we have to blame this on something, right? There has to be a blame game on why we have type 2 diabetes. And those quintessential blames, right, are because you're overweight, because you don't exercise, because your diet's horrible, or it's in your genes. And I have to tell you that none of that is accurate. And so if we break each of those down, okay, we say, okay, because you're overweight, all right, you have to lose weight. Not every type 2 diabetic is overweight. I treat some very, very small people that have type 2 diabetes, and they're treated the same medications, same processes, same diets, and then the A1C continues to skyrocket and the blood sugars continue to go up. So you have to dispel that myth, because it's not true that weight gain causes diabetes. Weight gain is just a symptom of a deeper cause. And so we have to find the causative factors to why we're holding on to weight. Okay? It's in your diet. You know, you don't need me to tell you to quit eating sugar. If you do, quit eating sugar and now turn the video off and stop eating sugar and diabetes is going to go away. But no, that's not true. To an extent, yes. If you have a drive-through diet, if you have a horrible diet, most people don't know what food toxicity is and how that can play into this situation. But it's not pinned on our diet. We can change our diet. We're going to have to change the way that we eat and the foods that we consume. But it's not just because we have a bad diet. There's other underlying factors that will create those problems, especially on top of a bad diet. Number 3, it's because you don't exercise. Now, I love this one because every diabetic is indoctrinated into eat less and exercise more. But at the root of type 2 diabetes is an energy depriving disease, meaning if you can't get sugar into the cells, you can't manufacture energy, which is called ATP. If you can't make energy, you don't have energy to use. So if you exercise, which is supposed to be a use stress, a good stress, right? But if you continue to exercise and you deplete that energy, but you can't build it up, your cells are going to expire. Okay, and so when somebody says, you know, you're healthy, keep exercising, and you just continue to deplete energy, that's like the antithesis of health. That's not even accurate. So we try and exercise our way out of this at the expense of just continuing to deplete energy, and then we don't eat. All right, so exercise more and eat less. It doesn't work like that. We'll never get healed. We'll never change the trajectory and get type 2 diabetes reversed in that strategy. So it's not because you don't exercise enough. And then the genetics, that's the last one. It's interesting because everybody's like, well, it's in your genes. Your mom had it, your dad had it, your uncle had it, somebody in your family had it, right? But when you look at that, I work on a concept versus participating in our genetic disposition, right? Which is participating in your disease, your condition. We want to look at a concept called epigenetics, and epigenetics sits on genetics. Epigenetics is the perception of our environment. So the software, which is our, genetic output, which is our software, it's a perception of what's going on inside of our body and outside of our environment. And so we can rewrite the tape, and that's called epigenetics, is being able to change the software output based on what's going on inside of our body and outside of our body. So there's really no gene that isolates us to say, oh, you're going to have type 2 diabetes. So what we want to do is we want to participate in this epigenetic thought process, where if we change the perception of our environment and our genetics perceive that good in that different environment, then the software is going to change its output and change the function of our body. And so that's really what I wanted to talk about, is that if you start to think in those processes and knowing that these these are myths and misinformation, and that we can actually overcome these. This is the initial part of let go of limiting beliefs. When changing our thought process, shifting our paradigm. That's why we start with the shift process, shifting our paradigm so we can clear the way to start doing the things that need to be done in order to put diabetes in the rearview mirror. And that's what getting off the type 2 diabetes trail is all about. So I hope you found that insightful, because it does work, and I've seen it work for many, many years. So I wanted to pass that on. If you have any questions, please reach out. I'm happy to talk with you. If you haven't scheduled a 15-minute call with me yet, we can go through that diabetes strategy. Just hit the button and get on that strategy call with me, and we can put this stuff, together for you and get you on the right path. So I'm Dr. Josh, and I'll see you next time.